So hey there everybody, as always, welcome to the channel. I want to jump right into things. So this is not scripted, but I wanted to take you through an issue that came up with us on Monday for doing a job site for a client that's a really cool job site. This is something we really wanted to do, and we're going to continue working on it. But we had some problems on Monday, and I want you to understand that problems do occur. So we're flying drones around. We're mostly flying them outside. So we're prone to issues from weather. And that's what happened to us on Monday, plus a couple of other issues, which found us sitting in a windstorm on Monday and letting the clients know that, yes, we're going to be back and we'll be doing some more. But I wanted to take you through this. This is a little over 8 minutes of watching this, but I wanted to talk about it. So number one, this location is a 40-acre off-grid location. So that means they've got no power or water or anything coming in. And, so 40 acres of beauty. This place is gorgeous. And like Prescott, Arizona, it's prone to the windstorms that we have here during the spring season. And boy, have we had some windstorms. It's just been crazy. So why didn't I cancel this flight with the clients and let them know? They're off grid. They don't have communications all the time, literally. So my phone was not working down there. Their phones don't work down there. When they go to their home, they've got a signal booster so that they can actually make calls to folks. Unfortunately, they did not check their voicemails for 2 days. So I guess that's part of living off grid, is things like that. So we got there. They were a little concerned. They said, so probably we're not going to be able to fly, right? And I said, let's check things out and see if we can work with anything, see if we can work around some of the winds. So that's what we did. So what you're about to see, the video that I'm about to pop up for you, let's go ahead and minimize Final Cut Pro, shall we? Goodbye, Final Cut Pro. And so before we say anything, before you say, hey, you haven't color graded or anything yet, that's right. I'm doing this off the cuff here with you, and not a lot of color grading has occurred yet, but I just wanted to, put something together for myself to start thinking about how we want this final video to come out anyways. They're very excited about video and still images and 360s that we showed them. They're not so excited about mapping and modeling, so we're still going to do a map there, maybe just for ourselves, or we'll see if they find it interesting. So it's an interesting ride in. It's a very long dirt road, so bumping and crashing around here and there. But let's go ahead and play this, and let me kill that. So your next adventure, and we're actually following along with the Jeep. We're using a GoPro here, so the GoPro, I think 10, and we've got that actually mounted on the front of the vehicle, and we're following along with their Jeep. So one of the things I said, hey, let's use call out pop to track the Jeep. And so that worked pretty well. So by the way, you're getting a look at what this place is. Off to the left, we just saw some solar panels hidden back. And so now we're riding into the main part of the property where the house is, where a workshop is, and also where a small barn is as well. And they have two different wells. So they've got constant water, they've got gravity fed as well. And they do have a big windmill to pump some of this water in. Now, there used to be a vineyard here, but several years ago they stopped doing the vineyard with the changes in monsoon season that we've seen. It really hit them hard on being able to do the vineyard part here. So I am just moving around right now with the Mavic 3 Enterprise, just giving myself a lower lay of the land. The winds were absolutely nuts here, so you can see that I did fly high, but then I started getting the wind warning almost immediately from the Mavic 3 Enterprise. So we really had to stay low, and you can see with this windmill, that sucker's spinning. So we definitely want to use that, some of the windmill for the final video for them. And of course, like I said, I'm going to need to go in and do some color grading here. Shooting from south to north, the colors were much nicer, not shooting into the sun, and also not shooting into the overcast haze that we had. But shooting back to the south, as you can see, yeah, the color quality is not that great, so we're going to definitely need to be doing some color grading. I'm taking the drone over this right now, the Mavic 3, and then we said, okay, let's utilize the Avata. So we've got a standard Avata. It's in our toolkit, and I thought maybe it would be useful here. So just trying out some scenes and you know, what we want to see down the road, because we do still have more video clips, so we will use some more from our visit on Monday. So it was a salvageable day. Okay, we could do some indoor stuff, we could do some low to the ground stuff. There's some more of the solar panels for the home, and then it's a small home. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, kitchen and living room. So they've got everything they need, you know, for this off-grid home. And you got to say, this is pretty cool, and it's very, you know, it's very well kept property. They have their own hot tub that they built, which is what we're going around next to. I think we're going to clip this scene. I've got a better scene than this, but like I said, you know, this is right off the cuff, everyone. I just started really messing around with what we had captured. And so we've got some work to do on this, which I knew and expected. So they're going to want a shorter video for sale and a longer video showcasing the entire property. What I've cobbled together right now is like 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Here's their second pond that's south of that windmill off in the distance. And you can see how big the vineyard is. And Jody said to me, there's a lot of vineyard in this, Rich. And I said, yeah, I know. There, you know, we'll cut down on it. But one of the main features that you see on this property when you get the drone up is just how much was put into the grapes there. And so this is one of their, you know, one of their outdoor rooms for their tractors and their four-wheelers and their vehicles and things. So unfinished, but a lot of room in there, and they even had an extreme cold room in there, which blew my mind. So very, very cool. Actually, looking straight to the back is where that cool room is, and we had some satellite issues here with the Avata, so Jody started running into a signal loss here, and we will work on that on the next visit. But like I said, yeah, there's a lot of vineyard, so we can cut out some of this vineyard. So the final product is going to, you know, get rid of a lot of that. We still have a lot of other stuff to look at as well. The rock formations here, the small creek that they have on the west side, the beautiful rock formations that they have, they've got it all here. This is, you know, if you're into off-grid living and you don't mind missing some phone calls, you might want to check this place out. It's about a half an hour from town, getting back into Prescott. And so actually, just to let you know, this is the Avata right now. So Jody's been flying the Avata up into this, and we're still not even at the north property line. But turning around, like I said, a lot of vineyard. So, you know, we'll be doing some more interior of the house, of the storage and workshop room, and also the little barn off to the side. So when they were first building this property out, that little barn was their home as they were building this place out. And this has been built out over the course of 20 years. So a lot of love went into it too, in talking with the owners. And so this is just Jody playing around once more, keeping it low. We can see the trees off to the side getting blown around still. But we decided, hey, if we keep it super low, we can fly this up, because they were interested in their full driveway flight as well. And I made a mistake. So, you know, bad things happen, especially when you're paying attention to wind and other things. I had actually limited how far away the drone could fly from us from the controller. So I limited it just a little too much for myself. And we actually had enough battery to go back and take another pass at this. But we're going to wait till our next visit when we're not getting blown around and things. You can see the trees are just moving, and the shrubs as well. But hey, we did this. This was pretty cool from where Jody was flying this. You know, and we actually had, you know, a look down. Now, here's some difference. This is the Mavic 3 Enterprise. So I took this up further beyond where we cut it off with the Avata there. So now we've got some more of the north part of the property. We turned the Avata back around, brought it back down, so we had the Mavic 3 Enterprise out for just a bit, and then we brought it in. They also have a beautiful Avion. I am into Airstreams, as most channel channel visitors know. So seeing a beautiful avion like that, that was great. Kind of a guest house for when they've got people over. But here we are going back along once again. Once again, I said, you know, I haven't lined everything up. We haven't finished the full outline of this yet. So we still have more video to sort through. And then we've got to set up another date to come back. Go figure, today there's no wind, but they had other things to do, so they can't be waiting on their drone pilots all the time. But we will be reaching out to them to pick another day for next week. And as you can see, kind of washed out here once again, because we are facing toward the southwest at the moment. And the property does go a lot further off to the right, but we wanted to come back up and around because both the homeowners wanted to feature that hot tub. There's the homemade hot tub there. So I think that's a wood-fired hot tub, if I'm not mistaken. And so really, really cool there. So this is one cut take through that Jody is doing with the Avata. So really nice. She did a great job with it. We haven't even done stabilization or smoothing or anything yet. So this is the color coming out of the drone right now, out of the Avata, facing from the south to the north. So, and then we turn it around and there's those flat skies again, which are real. And as you can see, we wouldn't include this either, but here comes Jody pulling that back in to stop for a moment. We're talking with the clients as well. So Jody got her landing in there and it looked great. And there we go. We're going to leave it at that for this. But so things happen when you make plans, especially when you make plans for outdoor work with drones or other cameras, you know, whatever type of work you're doing. If you've got snow or rain or blasting winds, something can come up to stop you from doing the job that you're doing. Fortunately, we're very flexible with our clients. We understand when these types of issues come up. And I'm going to be calling them today with 2 different dates that I think would work well for doing this. I also still have to go through the rest of the interior video that we did, and Jody did some interior stills as well for the home. And we also have some interior going through the barn and the workshop as well. So I'm going to be working on that a bit today just to give myself an idea of how we'd like to lay this out. And then Jody will put her videos, my videos, we'll shake them up in a bag, and we'll make something really cool come out of what could have been a lost day. At first, I really thought this is going to be a lost day, but keeping things really low, keeping things slow, I think we managed to actually get some good scenes out of the Mavic 3 Enterprise as well as the DJI Avata. So stay tuned here. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you'll get to see when the next parts pop up on this one. I'm also doing a small course series on flying this property and the final results. So I've got a five lesson plan worked out, and go figure, part number 2, windstorm and not what we wanted. But be sure to come back. We'll be doing this again soon, and I hope you'll enjoy this as well. And by the way, if you want to see some of the other work we do, you can go over to classes.easydrone.net or patreon.com/richcharpentier to be kept in the loop when we're doing all this additional stuff and when we're making new classes. All right, everybody, off to look at more of this video and then figure out our dates and times. We'll see you again real soon, and have a great rest of the week.